Hey, welcome back, y'all. Today I want to show you how I installed my one-wire electric fence on this chain link fence. I bought everything for this project from Tractor Supply, and I think I spent about $200 total. I put this one-wire electric fence around the top of this chain link fence inside this dog area. The total distance is about 150 feet around the top of this chain link fence. This is my electric fence controller. I think this is the cheapest one they had. It was about $30. I think it's good for 2 miles of distance. I only need 150 feet right now. I have it screwed to this very temporary setup here. Now, it does not come with holes, so I just drilled 2 holes in this plastic, ran a couple screws into this board. I also drilled a hole in the back of this so I can put my drop cord through there and run power to it. Maybe this thing is meant to plug directly into an outlet or receptacle, whatever you like to call it. So this is temporary. You know, at some point I may take this fence down, I may move it. When we sell this house in a couple years, I'm probably gonna take this thing with me and use it for something else. So this is your ground, and I've got it going over here to a galvanized 8-foot ground rod. It is not all the way in the ground. I mean, this thing is 8 feet long. I think this ground rod was $30. I've got probably at least 6 feet in the ground. Couple things about the ground rod. This wire that the electricity is running on is galvanized steel. Right over here I have my house, and I have 2 8-foot copper ground rods. I wanted to save $30, and I was gonna run my ground over here to my house and just attach it to my house ground rod. The first problem with that is I was a little concerned about messing up my house electrical system. Because this thing is producing electricity, I didn't want anything weird to happen. It backfeed over there to the ground, and I just thought it best to keep the 2 systems completely separate. Another thing is, because you've got this galvanized steel line, it is recommended that you have a galvanized ground rod. A couple other things about this ground rod that may be important to your project. This controller says to use 3 ground rods. And I think it says to put them at least 10 feet apart from each other. I only have 1 ground rod. I think that's fine for me because I've only got 150 feet of fence. So if you're going to do a much longer distance, then you probably do need more ground rods. You know, if you think I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments. Another thing about installing your ground rod, it says to put this ground rod, I think, at least 50 feet away from any other ground rods. I don't think I'm 50 feet away from the ground rods on my house. But again, I think I'm okay. The fence has been working fine for a couple weeks. I've only got 150 feet of wire on here, so I think for my little small section, I think I'm okay. The hot wire coming out of the fence controller, it's coming up here through the fence. And this is actually a T-post. I had to look it up. It is a T-post screw-in gate anchor. So this is not a T-post, obviously. This is my tension rod for my chain link fence. But this thing is working pretty good. I did have to take this and I just bent it in with some big channel lock pliers. I was in a bit of a hurry when I installed this. I wish I had time to design it a little bit better, but it's been up for 2 weeks. It's working great. So you see I got the hot wire coming through here, twisted around here really good, and then all right, these right here are chain link fence isolators. I think a bag of 10 of these is $13 or $14. Holds the wire off the fence, you know, so hopefully I guess you don't want to electrify the whole fence. Okay, it's got this little cotter pin. Let's go around the back side. You can see I call it a cotter pin. I think some people call it a clevis pin, but it's just stuck in there. I did not bend it. I bought 3 packs of these isolators, so I bought 30 of them, but I think I only used about 25 at the most, maybe 22, 23. These fence posts are like about 8 to 9 feet apart. So I basically put one about every fence post. Okay. This wire is just sitting in here. I think that's how you do it. Just sitting in here. Walk down to the corner here. Isolators are pretty far apart, except I got them kind of close in the corner. Again, the wire's just sitting in here. Over on this other side, a little bit different story. This is a hill. So about 4 of these, I think I actually had to wrap the wire around the isolator. This one up here. Had to wrap it all the way around, I think about 4 of these isolators, because of the hill. When I tried to pull the wire tight, it was just popping out of all of these. I think this one is wrapped around also. But that one up there, we go back to just laying inside the thing. It's not wrapped around. I don't have this wire super tight. I mean, it might have even gotten a little bit looser over time. I do have these 2 gates unhooked right now, so that kind of loosens up the wire. Not really sure how tight to make the wire. If you pull it too tight, it wants to pull these isolators off the fence. So honestly, I haven't needed it very tight. First couple of days, these dogs got lit up a few times, and then they quit climbing the fence. They don't really like to touch the wire, so it doesn't really need to be tight. I think if you're going to do a really long span, I have seen these little plastic crank turn things. I think you put it on the wire and you can turn them to make it tighter. But I haven't had to use those yet. The wire that I used is 17 gauge, and I bought this roll of 350 feet. They have bigger rolls that are like 1,000 feet, 5,000 feet. I think this 350 feet was $30. And this is 17 gauge. It's pretty small, but it's fine for these dogs. You can get a thicker gauge. I guess maybe if you have horses or goats or something. I have a bunch of these coffee containers that I keep extra stuff in, electrical stuff and plumbing and whatever. Anyway, these are all my leftover isolators. When you buy the pack, they do come separate. You have to screw them on there. It can be a little tough to get that screw in there. You definitely want to use a drill. It would probably take a long time if you were using a screwdriver. It is getting really windy out here. Let's talk about the gate opening. I have 2 gates, so I had to make this little opening thing here. They have different kinds of these gate handle things here. I think it's just a gate handle. This is a cheaper one. It was about $4, I think. It's rubber. So you take a piece of your wire, and I just got it wrapped around there really tight, and it just hooks on there. I have one over here, same thing, got it twisted up around there real good. You can open this while the electric gate is on. I've only done that one time. Most of the time we unplug this gate. Well, pretty much all the time. We unplug it when we come out here to mess with the dogs, if we're gonna feed them or hang out with them. But you know, if you want to walk through the gate, you can just unhook this. I don't like how this wire is though, you know, so if you hang it on this other one, well, right now it's not really touching anything, but if this thing was on, you know, and it's windy out here today, so if it's swinging around and it touches this fence, I'm assuming it's probably going to electrify the fence. So then when I go to open the gate, I'm going to get lit up. I think I saw another video or two where people put the gate opening, the wire, they put it like in a rubber hose. But I don't like that, because the point of this electric fence is to keep these dogs from climbing over the fence. And these dogs are pretty smart. They're young right now. They're like 7 to 8 months old. But they're pretty smart dogs. And they're gonna probably learn that, hey, I don't get electrified, I don't get shocked right here on the gate. And eventually they'll be climbing over the gate. One last thing about the electric fence. I've heard several people say that you probably only need to use it for like 2 or 3 weeks. And once the dogs get lit up a few times and they learn it's there, then you probably don't even have to turn it on anymore. So we're going to test that theory. This fence has been on for 2 weeks, I think, 2 to 3 weeks. The dogs are not climbing over anymore. So we're probably going to start leaving it unplugged. And then if we have a problem, if they climb over again, or if they continue to dig under, I'll add some wire, I'll plug it back in. I'll keep you updated. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Good luck with your project. I'll see you soon.